If you think I enjoy the cocktails, guess again. I really enjoy a whiskey sour, but in this case, it was another story. Welcome aboard to Qatar Airways 777-300ER. I hope I pronounced that right. I've been flying with Qatar Airways for over a year now since the pandemic started, and I can say I have no regrets. Check it out, they're setting up my table for the Dine on Demand experience. I don't know if you heard well, but just there she was offering some olive oil infused flavors, like aside from balsamic there was orange infused balsamic vinegar. I think there was also ginger, but for me, I've tried them and personally I do prefer the classic balsamic vinegar and olive oil. I was pretending to know what she was serving me, but to be honest, I have no idea what she put on the table. So this is actually very interesting. I was served my appetizer, I suppose. This is what it looks like. In some Qatar Airways flights, I know they have a personal chef available preparing everyone's dishes. However, on my flights so far, I've not experienced that just yet. But nevertheless, I love their plating. I mean, it looks pretty swanky and I'm very impressed. Also, check out the candle. I think because it's 10 p.m., they want to make dinner a little bit more romantic and cozy. At this point, I think I was trying to fool myself thinking this was one of their appetizers, but this definitely was not hummus, and this definitely was not salmon as well. I think that was tuna, or like what we call it is a tuna sashimi, so we'll just see. And right now I really love how their candle looks. It really goes well with this fine dining experience. But right now I think I was trying to just get through. I mean, I could be wrong, but to me this looks like sushi. I think I would have done better using chopsticks. Let's give it a try, guys. Yum. I think in my mind I was still wondering, what the hell am I eating? But nevertheless, it was a burst of freshness, believe it or not. And I love how the understated flavors are just perfect. They don't overpower it with too much salt or sugar. Wow. Something so simple, bursts of flavor, so delicious. Later on, I did actually ask what this was, and the flight attendant came over and told me. However, I couldn't really understand what she was saying with her mask on. Apparently, it's rice cooked with beetroot, so it adds that very natural pinkish, maroonish, burgundy color. It's amazing. Very, very artsy and delicious. Something different. I would highly recommend this. It's actually really creative to dye or to make the rice red. They did say that they boiled it in beetroot, which is obviously the same color. Pretty cool. Natural dye without any artificial coloring. I absolutely love this red rice. It's something different. Very mild, sweet, ricey flavor. Give it a go. I absolutely recommend it. One of the best appetizers I've had with Qatar Airways. It's just so... the portions are perfect if you want to try a lot of their food here, so A-okay. I'm being a bit silly here, but aside from the rice, I think I'm still trying to understand what it is exactly I'm eating. I know there's beetroot, there's rice, and I'm pretty sure that was tuna I was eating. But one thing I can say is I'm glad that the rice was al dente. Oftentimes they tend to overcook pasta and rice and it gets too soggy. Some people like it, actually my mom likes that, but I really go for something on the al dente side. There's nothing honestly that exciting about a green bean, but because it was served so delicately that I actually enjoyed it. It's a green bean. Yummy. definitely experienced something different. It's very refreshing to see new little accessories on the table. It's like having a new dining experience. So I quite appreciate Qatar Airways for that. I hope you stick around with me because there's just so much food and drinks to try on this flight. I'm flying from London, particularly at the Heathrow Airport, all the way to my layover at Doha. And I think this flight is about 6 or 7 hours. Not very long, but long enough if you want to try everything on the menu. So if you're like me and you love your cheese platter, you love your wine tasting and dessert, then you definitely want to see the next video. I love that their portions as well is not really large. It's good enough for one person. However, every dish and every drink that I ordered was oozing with so much richness and flavor. So I did get full like any normal human being would eventually, but there's always room for dessert. I think I must have tried at least 2 or 3 desserts on just one flight. If you notice that my plane has changed now, I'm no longer at the Q suite. I'm actually flying from Doha to Manila and the seats have changed. Sadly or unfortunately, every time I fly to Manila or from Manila, I don't get the Q suite. It's really nice because I got a comment from one of my viewers and she was saying that she'll be flying to New York, and luckily for her, she'll be taking the Q suite from Manila to her layover and from her layover to her final destination. So good for her. I'm really excited. Hopefully one day we will get the Q suite as well that has a bar on the second floor. I've been told by one of the flight attendants that that's a really good plane to ride. It's one of the newer ones. However, we don't get that in Manila. So I'm really looking forward to experiencing having a bar. I've never really experienced that in any of my business class flights. So I really want to hear what you think about the Q Suite and Qatar Airways. I've also been told, and not just by 2 or 3 people, but by several of my viewers, that Emirates is equally good. I've flown with Emirates early of 2020 and they are good. However, the Q Suite and Qatar Airways really tops my list.